It is a great pleasure to welcome to Asian Investing Summit 2026 Hoosik Min, the CEO of Pine Investment Advisory based in Seoul, South Korea, a position he has held since 2010. As a dedicated value investor, his investment philosophy focuses on incremental intrinsic value with sustainable ROE and ROIC. At Pine Investment Advisory, his management team specifically targets companies possessing excellent business structure, expansion capabilities, alongside unique and sustainable competitive advantages. Prior to his current leadership role, Mr. Min gained significant experience in the financial sector, serving as a senior analyst covering the tech sector at Korea Investment and Securities Co. Limited from 2004 to 2007. And before that, he was the head of equity research at Tongyang Investment and Securities from 2002 to 2004. With core expertise in financial services, hedge funds, and general finance, Mr. Min holds an MBA in finance from the University of Denver's Daniels College of Business and earned his bachelor's and master's degrees from Hankook University of Foreign Studies. It is truly a great pleasure to have you with us here today, Hoosik. I very much look forward to your presentation and also just want to say how much I appreciate your involvement with the MOI Global community over the years. It's been a true pleasure getting to know you in person as well. And so now I'd like to turn it to you for this presentation. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, John, and very good introduction for me. So actually, just briefly myself and introduce myself. I'm just over 30 years, so half percentage is some kind of the tech and supply side. Another half was just the management side. So I found Fine Investment Advisory right now, the 16 years ago, and investing using a business investment strategy. So today's topic is a story of business information and the business of transformation in Korea. So before we begin, important notice. So check out yourself with your important notice. At the moment, why Korean business? I think the Korean business is expecting improvement in ROE for Korean companies. So it was the highest jump in the global stock market over the past year. From the early of the 2025 to the end of the March this year, it rose by 110% post-P. The Korean market is highly interconnected with the global industrial ecosystem. It also has high volatility. I started with the question, should you invest in Korea business for risk and opportunity exist simultaneously? I think the likelihood of improved return on capital for Korean companies has increased at the moment. Changes in business structure are taking place, and the change in the Korean capital market are also on the way. In the weekly investment strategy of Pine Investment Advisory, first, business with excellent cash generation capability and growth of reinvesting. Second, company operated by management with capacity for efficient capital allocation. Finally, We invest either on the base price or fair price based on business sustainability assessment criteria relative to the appropriate discount rate. Korea is kind of the cost of the equity is the risk factor. Well, now it's Russia, Ukraine, and Iran, United States. So Korea geopolitical risk highly. North Korea, an official nuclear armed state, just 15 kilometers to Seoul. Corporate governance, very long time, very poor. Korea faces numerous risk factors. The third is that is country has lower democratic sustainability. Triple age society and old. So for mid to long-term investor, the risk factor are the valuation discount ratio and discount risk factor. However, opportunity in Korea, ROE advanced opportunity. First of all, changing capital market system. Institutional system changes such as revision to the Commercial Act as currently underway. So it's kind of the impact to improvement in shareholder returns, improvement in capital operation efficiency. Reinvesting of earnings for growth. Korea maintains its earnings power, so a diverse and a highly competitive manufacturing base. Superiority in the defense industry, power equipment, and the nuclear technology engineering. Growth investments are continuing in sectors such as cosmetic and biotechnology. In recent, companies' dividends and share buybacks are increasing in Korea in recent. Two years ago, starting on the changing Korean capital system in the legislation on progress. In May 2024, Value Up Guideline finalized the list company recommended to establish plan to enhance corporate value and disclose them once a year. In recent March 2026, mandatory cancellation of treasury stock with 1 year of repurchase. This legislation in progress. The business structure of Korea will gradually improve. The Korean Value Up program is just now in its second year. The other side, Japan, neighborhood country, started on 14 years ago. The capital market environment in Korea will be different 10 years from now. This will increase mid to long term shareholder value advancing. In Korea, the ratio of net cash to market capitalization was around 25% in the KRX market. The market expected the amount of treasury stock cancellation by Korean companies would increase by 54% year-over-year in this year projection consensus. But this was already exceeded in the first quarter of this year. Companies are using surplus cash for stock cancellation to increasing total shareholder return. If the earning power of Korean companies improved and the capital allocation that increasing total shareholder return accumulated, Korea's ROE could improve, while cost of the equity could decrease. Consequently, valuation finally could rise up. Long time ago, 2002, 2003, 20, 30 years ago, Warren Buffett invested in Korean companies. The three regions of Warren Buffett investment still apply today. The reason for his investment were the Korean government finance had come sound, changing. Second, Korean companies had sound balance sheet and strong earnings power. Finally, many companies were severely undervalued, trading at PER ratio 3 to 4 times. Finally said the first rule of fishing is to fish where the fish are. In Korea, the ratio of net cash, in Korea, in Korea, ROE improvement as well as increasing brand business entrepreneurs, lower PBR variable companies. Today, the company and industrial opportunity. In addition, semiconductor, automobile, machinery industry, Korea has many distinct growth industries. Korean brand power, which cannot be qualified in monetary terms, has grown through indirect capital over the past 30, 20 years ago. Although Gangnam Style was released 14 years ago, there was a prior experience with the Korean wave, Hallyu. Korean culture has accumulated over 20 years of experience in the global market. Culture has diversified and expanded into music, K-pop, movie, drama, and literature. Korean culture infrastructure is increasing the number of tourists visiting Korea, as well as strengthening trust, reliability in Korean product and service. On the past 10 years, the South Korea cosmetic export have grown by 16% annually. This represents a 4 times growth of the decade. The expansion of Korean culture serves as a catalyst for the competitiveness of the global product and service. The reliability of Korean product translates into price premium. Business operating leverage is expanding due to increasing global demand. In an industry, Korea is an aging society. It is a super aged society where the proportion of the population aging 65 is above 20%. Demand for healthcare medical industries is increasing. The bio industry is leading this growth 20 years ago. The industry share in the market, total market, was less than 2%. Recently, it was over 4 and 8%. It could increase to over 10% portion. Just as Korean cosmetics have entered the forefront of the global market, the opportunity can be found in the bio, healthcare, and medical devices. There are many electronic and chemical engineers in Korean human resource. They form a human resource for the bio, healthcare, medical, and cosmetic industry. Another major industry was change. Many semiconductors are shifting from commodity characteristic to product meeting specific client requirements. The demand market for specialized requirements such as HBM and APDDR is expanding. Combined, Samsung Electric and SK Hynix investment in R&D and advanced package investing become more diversified than investment in memory semiconductor fabrication. The focus is shifting from memory semiconductor supply volume to product quality and price. The trend of the capex divided by revenue ratio at 40 to 50% has slowed to 20-30%. As surplus free cash flow increase, there is a change in the capital allocation strategy regarding dividend increasing, share buybacks. I'm just middle to long-term investing cases still holding these companies. Some is more than 5 years, some is 10 years ago. I will briefly mention the company. As of the end of the March this year, Palmer's market value increased 5.5 times over 60 years. Hammer could sevenfold over the 5 years. Although investments were temporarily hard in between, Industrial's value rose 57-fold over the past 15 years. This was the result of the increase in their corporate value. Common characteristics of middle to long-term invested business: expansion of earning power through improved cash generation capability, growth of intrinsic business value through reinvestment. Based on Pharma research, as medical device and cosmetics. We have been investing in pharma research for 6 years, although there has been a recent stock price correction. Profit growth remain robust. The current stock price is in a low range relative to its intrinsic value. Lijuram brand, PN technology, is attractive in the skin beauty market. For over 10 years, it has been leading continued research and development of the material and the marketing based on clinical trial research from doctors. The management focused on generating cash profit, such as including the downside of a low profit segment in sales channel, suggests that the potential for mid to long-term growth in intrinsic corporate value. Risk: there has been an increasing a new entrant into the skin boosting beauty market in the global and the domestic. The sustainability of a structure generating a 40% operating profit margin may increase. Timed marketing cost for entering the global market may increase. Second case, Samyang Food. We invested 5 years ago. The investing is ongoing, still now. Buldak Ramen has its unique hot sauce taste. The proportion export in total sales expanded from 10 years ago, 10%. Last year, 2025, 80%. The company launched its first ramen business in Korea in 1961. Following the Wonju and the Iksan factories, it invested in the new factory in Myeong between 2020 and 2022. The effect of the operating leverage contributed to increasing cash profit. The overseas factory in China will begin operation in 2027. Risk: new competitors. Trend may be no longer. Third, lack of a new growth engine business. Very niche engineering company. Third case, Lino Industrial. Semiconductor parts for test equipment. Pin and socket for the semiconductor testing equipment. Specific engineering business. Pins market portion 60 to 70% in the global market, as came from by the company released. Standing out outstanding technology capability in the telecommunication AP, semiconductor testing sector. And the clients are Apple, Qualcomm, TSMC, and Samsung Electronics, lots of the small and middle-sized clients. Risk and moment variation. This is a small cap new case shares technology. This is my investment idea for this year. This is small cap. I plan to watch it over at least 1 and 2 years. Since it is a business just starting out, it could be risky, but it is innovating as a new game changer. If management proceeds well, we can extend the investor panel further. improving hospital operational efficiency, remote care, arrhythmia diagnostic solution, launched in 2020. Patients wear the device for about 3 days after each day received a diagnosis from the hospital, mobile device and solution. Think C solution launched in 2024, hospital bedside patient monitoring business. Currently account for 90% of the revenue. Bluetooth communication centered on a fixed gateway, capable of the measuring for parameters electrocardiogram, oxygen saturation, body temperature, and blood pressure. It is currently expanding into Middle East market. Risk competitive entry may not be difficult. The limited number of domestic hospital beds is weakness in mid to long-term growth potential. And entering overseas market, verification of the software security issues in each country is necessary. So finally, in conclusion, South Korea investment season second before Warren Buffett 20 years ago, season one. The Korea opportunity in the creative innovation and the differentiated business looking. Korea's industrial structure and the capital market system are undergoing innovation. Industry is requiring large-scale capital investment such as steel and petrochemicals are undergoing restructuring at the moment. Meanwhile, industry related to machinery, including shipbuilding and defense and energy infrastructure, have accumulated cash profit. These sectors have shifted from producing general purpose product to manufacturing customer order products. While memory semiconductor was general purpose product, HBM and server memory are now products based on customer demand. Industrial change leading to improved efficient profitability. Second, Korea brand have been exposed to global culture. So various medias such as K-pop, drama, movie, and literature. This is the result of 20 years of accumulated effect. Global consumers are willingly opening their wallet for Korean brands. Industry war growth catalysts at play can be found in cosmetic, medical devices, healthcare, and consumer staples. Businesses have shifted from the domestic market to the global. They are focusing on owned brand and IP product services. Global marketing channel extend to social media, YouTube, and Netflix. The market growth potential is significant. Korea is a very small country, but global is a bigger opportunity market. changed in Korean capital market system are underway just 2 years. Accumulating cash surplus are driving changing in shareholder returns, dividend, and share buyback increasing. Change in value of Korean capital market are anticipated forward. In Korea, there are many companies expanding their capability in the global market. Even beyond everybody, global investors knowing Samsung, Electronic, SK Hynix, and the Hyundai Motors. These are not large cap stock, rather smaller than middle-sized companies. The opportunity exists. Although this stage is difficult, there are many companies with powerful profit engines and attractive growth potential company in Korea. Thank you for listening until the end. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much, Hoosik, for this very insightful presentation on value investing in Korea, and also the case studies you shared, as well as the current or the new case, Sears Technology. Maybe just a couple of questions on Sears Technology first, if you don't mind. I'm wondering what kind of penetration within the Korean market the company has already achieved?
It's kind of the Korean bed size, bed amount is 300,000 bed in domestic market, Korea. That was just starting 2024. Think gateway, just 10% penetration at the moment. So end of this year, 2006, might be more than 10 and 20%. So, however, all of the bed is not necessary. So we expectation and the consensus in the market might be 30 to 40% of total bed size, the penetration. So actually right now just 10%, but end of this year might be more than 10% to 15%. I don't know exactly what's going on, proceed speed on. So it depends on the company marketing or some persuasive in the market. So it's kind of the hospital side. In the hospital side, beneficiary in the human powered nurse, in the cost saving something.
And what do you expect the revenue mix to look like in 3 to 5 years?
Actually, this company is a kind of at the moment in domestic side, not the 5 years later is some the gateway and the thing and the product and the service, the changing cycling, the 3 years or the 4 years later. So Korea is a very small the country. So I mention about that. So it's the target access market might be 300,000 bed, but Korea is 700,000 bed. So it's meaning might be 40% is the market. So it's 3 or 4 years later, it's matured in the market. At later, the recycling the business and the service business or the part business So the company success story have to go the foreign global market. So the company right now try to first stage in the Middle East area. So what's going on? So I say what mention about this company, very small tech company and risky, very difficult, the just starting company. But we need to double check the 1 and 2 years or so forward. The government, the business entrepreneurship is a good proceed. We call more the investing horizon 2 or 3, 4 years. It's kind of the what's going on, global market, the advanced capability. We need to double check. So just the 2 or 3 years in the sales volume, I think at least 30, 40% annually. But we cannot more the long term in the 5 and 10 years because what is that is a criteria success proceed in the global market in the result. So I cannot expectation about more the 3 more years later. So just looking for that. But however, the company, the cost saving for hospital is kind of the game changer.
And the company Sears Technology has scaled very quickly since 2002. Could you talk a little bit about the experience of the management team in running a larger business?
It's kind of business is at the moment 2002, 2003, 2004. It's very think see as a product and service. Marketing was other outside the whole marketing. It's a their own pharmaceutical in Korean company. So it's a bit bigger the OTC market players. So the the worldwide and the Korean also as well as the Korean and the worldwide the experience of the COVID in the experience the 2010, 2022, 2003 it's lots of the nurse and some the service is kind of the limited some push on the cost push. So hospital is the many kind of the double check, the data check, and it's the some kind of the low skilled loss and hired. So it's kind of the company the developing for hospital cost saving idea and the AI and the data gateway. Gateway every hospital server system in the data and somehow, however, it's specific from the broad and gradual organization checking the difficulty and not easy to double check. So the company, the medical device and the solution service and the mobile. And in this sense, AI categorized, push up the marketing in the hospital. Hospital is it's not easy to, not difficult process. Hospital management side is acceptable. So at the moment, starting on that, just 2024, that's kind of the high skyrocketed sales and the margin goes up. So Korea is just 2003, 2004, at the moment 2055, 2025. It's just starting with that. So we just looking for 2060 to 2027, and then the 2026 to 27, and 2 years forward is anticipated. But we needed to check in the global market, in the company just starting Middle East area. After then, broad to the other area, Asia or Europe, United States. It's not say about that at the moment it is.
And the Korean market, as you mentioned, has risen quite a lot. It's doubled or more since early 2025. Is that the highest valuation you have seen in Korea for a long time? And does it make you nervous at all?
It's kind of not long time. I think the company, the medical device is kind of the one device, the reliability and the good performance and easy to using in the hospital nurse and the doctor. And the hospital management side is cost saving. After that, the developing other medical device system, kind of that. So this company engineers and the medical device and the solution device and the developing engineering company. So this is just right now starting to good hit product. Think C. It's good. It's hospital management easy to buy and easy to infrastructure in the hospital area. So I think the Think C product just matured might be 2 or 3 years later. That like it's not this big growing it's not big growing opportunity. However, this company engineers and the solution providers different new product developing or new device or new service or new software. We don't know at the moment. At the moment, I think so. So, however, the company business engineering, the entrepreneurship is very good. So the pharma research also long time ago just medical device, something skin boosting market. At the moment, skin boosting market is kind of the 5 and 10 years ago, just globally, just 1%. But right now, it's kind of the 3 or the 5%, or right now 10% something. So the globally expanding. Before the skin boosting market, the toxin, filler, it's most of them. But the skin boosting is different idea. Similarity in the CS technology, just right now, the Think C product embedded to new coming in the hospital management side. So they are easy to, they are cost saving. Why not adapt Think C? So Korea hospital management side, hospital industry accept easy to just 1 year. So I'm think very fast going forward 2 or 3 years. But think see, Korean market just limited market. So they can go abroad successfully or not. It's the next step. Double check our the mission.
And how do you feel about the valuation of the Korean market as a whole? The KOSPI index has risen a lot since last year, and valuations are up, but there are also many very positive developments, as you mentioned. Um, do you believe that the market is getting into a range where it's reflecting fair value, or do you feel that it's still early in recognizing what has been going on in Korea in terms of improvements with the companies?
Korea has a lot of cash in the capital. There's a lot of cash is not holding. It's kind of a tax issue. It's not the the capital system. So Korea has a trace to Japan, the value program. The other 14 years ago starting that. So at the moment, what's going on in the Japan valuation. So Korea also large, huge, and the cash holding in the balance sheet. So it's changing to company increasing buyback share, increasing dividend, increasing half dividend or quarterly dividend. Before 5 and 3 years ago and 10 years ago, Korea lots of the holding cash. But it's kind of the efficiency in the capital portion. So ROE just below 10%. But dividend out and the buyback shares decrease the shares. It's kind of the ROE goes up, might be 12, 15%. At the moment, PB ratio or PBR, it's a different story. Another one is the big size in the semiconductor memory side. The free cash flow business structure. Look at that middle size and the company, small size company. Oh, that's good. Free cash flow, the business is a different story. It's kind of the margin goes up, operating margin goes up. So two factor plus is a compounding. The capital status, the better than efficiency compared to old. Otherwise, new industry, I say mention about the cosmetic, medical device, and the bio. And it's kind of the operating margin goes up. Korea is the operating margin in the KOSPI right now just approximately 10 and 12%. But I mentioned that the company, Pharma Research, for example, 40%, Samyang Food, 20%. The sales goes up, increasing in the middle teen operating margin. It's different profitability. So it's kind of the ROE, ROIC increasing its meaning. So I don't know what's going on. All Korean country cannot change in one time. It's, however, accumulated changing. So forward 5 or 10 years later, might be similar trace to Japanese market.
Wonderful. Well, Hoosik, I will leave it there. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us today and sharing your wisdom and insights into investing in Korea. And I'd like to encourage MOI Global members to feel free to follow up with any further thoughts or questions. We are always happy to facilitate an introduction. Truly appreciate you being with us today. Thank you.
Thank you, John and MOI Global. I'm just enjoying your lots of data, lots of the paper. So good the communication, discussion. It's very interesting. So today's is very honored to presentation for the MOI Global members. Thank you so much. See you again in the Switzerland.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I also look forward to seeing you in person as well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.